Hey, so this is my tour of the Common Core website, specifically for English. So here we start with the overview of what are the ELA standards and why have we have them. I think this last sentence is kind of important in this overview page because it shows that these standards were made with the 21st century literate person in mind. So a lot of these standards are made with college-ready and career-focused skills, knowledge in mind. So the first two subsections break down what this sort of means. It's very different from No Child Left Behind and CST testing because as you can see in this first subsection of key design consideration, a lot of this is based on results and rather than means. It's an integrated model literacy, and there's a lot of emphasis in research and media skills blended into the standards. So it's very interesting. And this last subsection is how to read the standards. It gives a general overview of what the standards contain and sort of what each part of it means as you go through it. Like everything in this explanation, I think it's all very text-based, and I think it would kind of help to have a sort of video to help older folks to kind of walk them through this website and how to use it, sort of like the one I'm doing right now. On the side, we got anchor standards, which are basically the backbone of ELA standards, as it kind of articulates core knowledge and skills for reading, writing, listening, and language. If you click on one and then you click on, a specific grade, so let's say, we're going to do 6th grade, you kind of get a clear goal of what students should be able to do by the end of the grade. So for 6th grade, it says use technology, including the internet, to produce and publish writing, to interact and collaborate with others. So this, by then, the 6th grade on specifically focused on writing, this is what students should be able to do. And as you can see, there's kind of a progression for it, starting from basic skills. So, in, speaking and listening. In grade 1, students should be able to prepare for and participate effectively in various conversations and collaborations with different partners, and that kind of builds up to adapting speech to a variety of contexts and communicative tasks in 6th grade. So at the end of each page is kind of little notes on how to build better foundations in ELA. So for language, I believe, to build a better foundation, students must gain control over many conventions in standard English grammar, usage, and mechanics. So I think that's very helpful in kind of summarizing how to kind of get this progression in each grade. So now we get into grade-specific standards that kind of clearly lay out what it is that each student should be learning. If you click on it and go to a specific grade, you kind of get, very clear standards of what it is that each student should be learning in this grade. And at the end, I think this is very helpful that it kind of summarizes what is these standards hope to achieve. So in 6th grade in literature, by the end of each year, students should be able to read and comprehend literature, including stories, dramas, and poems. And then in informational text in 6th grade, by the end of the year, they should be able to read and comprehend literary nonfiction. So all these standards help, kind of explain what that means. In foundational skills, that doesn't apply for the older grades because, these are foundational skills. Specifically in writing in 6th grade, it proposes what students should be writing and lays out how this can be achieved. So in this grade, they should be able to write arguments to support claims with clear reasons and relevant evidence. So to achieve that, they have to introduce claims, support their claims, use words and phrases. In speaking and listening, there is a lot of emphasis in finding claims, there's a lot of emphasis in collaborative discussions in 6th grade, and it kind of places emphasis on coming to discussion prepared and following, specific rules for how collaborative discussion should go, and how students should be presenting their claims and knowledge. In language, let's go to 7th grade. So in language, is specifically based on reading content, as it says here at the end, acquire and use accurately grade appropriate general academic specific words and phrases. So, right here actually, it's based on grade 7 reading and content. I thought this was interesting that in grade 7, students should be using more common grade appropriate Greek or Latin affixes and roots. So that might just be me, but I don't exactly remember using a lot of Greek or Latin roots, but maybe just because I didn't notice. So then we get into this subsection of literary and history, social science, and technical subjects. So this tab is meant to show how ELA is kind of, used across different subjects. These standards are incorporated in these existing subjects standards, so it's meant to supplement what these subjects already have, not really replace it, because here we can really see that English language arts skills can really be applied in a variety of subjects. So for history, it's about, in both subjects, students have to cite specific textual evidence and determining main ideas. In science, same thing about using specific text and evidence. So it really shows that English language arts skills can really be applied to a variety of subjects. So it's meant to supplement what they already have, not replace it. Finally, you got the appendixes. I already have it up here, and these appendices, they're just like extra supplement material. So for A, it's supplement reading material explaining the research behind Common Core, and towards the end, I think, or I guess middle, I really can't tell, there's a glossary of key terms in English. So right here, explain what consonants are with like specific examples. Appendix B, I particularly like this one because it illustrates a wide range of reading material that each student should be reading according to their specific grade. So, like, where is it? 4, 5, 9, 10. Grade 6 to 8 in middle school, students should be reading short stories like Little Women, Tom Sawyer, dramas such as The Diary of Anne Frank, like Langston Hughes' I Too Sing America. And it also offers these sample performance tasks to kind of give an idea of how these standards would be how these readings would be used to meet these standards. And finally, in Appendix C, this was pretty cool that it offers annotated student work to kind of help you gauge how how and if students are meeting the standards. So it's good that, it gives you an example of like what does the standard really mean, and how, like, what kind of work should I be looking out for. So, this is grade 1 kind of grade 1 work, and it kind of shows that, like, okay, this is what a good example of student of a student meeting the standards look like. This is what a model student's work looks like. So I think this is really helpful in kind of gauging, like, okay, what kind of work should my student be, producing at this age level. So I think all of this is very thorough, very, very thorough and detailed. It kind of gives a good idea of what will English class look like for my students and parents' kids in any year. And, if I was a parent, I would hope my kids would know what it is that they're learning. But if not, this kind of gives me a good idea of what each grade will look like even before my student enters that grade. So that's the end of this tour, and I hope you all have a good day.